Hi Leute, willkommen zurück zu Honkai Star Rail 3.0. Wir machen mit der Story weiter. Wir können jetzt mit Hain anscheinend ein bisschen uns im Hain nochmal umschauen. Und natürlich mit ihrem Prinzessinnen-Einhorn-Gefährten.
This was where Professor Anaxa gave us the lesson. I can still see that day in my mind.
And that was your last lesson in the Grove. Now, each of you will head off on your own path. How much the Grove's teachings can help you in the real world depends on how well you can put knowledge into practice. However, heed this warning. If you ever do anything disgraceful out there, don't ever claim you were the student of Anaxagoras, one of the 7 sages.
Professor Anaxa, there are still other classes scheduled on the calendar. Are you sure you didn't...
Firstly, call me Professor Anaxagoras. Secondly, to clarify, the last lesson means the last lesson I will teach you. I will be entering seclusion from today onwards to research ancient alchemy, and all my teaching activities will be put on hold.
Ah, I see. So you're saying that the lessons taught by all the other teachers aren't good enough to be considered lessons?
All you do every day is wag that sharp tongue of yours. That's a credit deduction, fine enough IDs Elysii. I have nothing left to say. Next.
Please wait, Professor. According to the Grove's protocols for a cohort's final class, the lecturer should take some time in that lesson to discuss the students' post-graduation aspirations with them and guide them toward a... Surely you can't skip such a crucial step, Professor.
The teaching assistant, Miss Hyacinth, is truly Professor Anaxa's nemesis.
Fine. Since Hyacinthia insists on this, let's go through the process. Since some of you are so eager to speak, why don't we start with you, Finan of IDs Elysii? What is your post-graduation aspiration?
Me? Well, it's not exactly an aspiration, but the only thing I want to do is to protect the people I care about.
I see. So you want to be a hero? How boring.
I didn't say...
Castoris, you've been giggling for quite some time. How about you go next?
Perhaps my answer is a bit vague and meaningless, Professor Anaxagoras. I hope the world can be freed from the agony of death, so that every living being may find calming peace.
How naive. So naive that it makes me want to weep for your fairy tale. See, this is why I don't want to follow those outdated protocols. All I get are boring answers. Since you suggested this whole process, why don't you wrap this up, Hyacinthia? Share your aspiration with everyone, and let's see if yours stands out.
So it's finally my good thing I came prepared. My aspiration is nothing less than completing the final blank page at the end of the hero's epic.
Blank page? An interesting description. Do explain, Assistant.
I've read all of Amphorius's heroic epics while studying at the Grove, and a common thread came to my attention. Almost every epic ends with a description of the hero's achievements. But few mention how the everyday people of that time lived. No one recorded the struggles and suffering the commoners endured.
So you're saying that, instead of legendary heroes, you're more focused on commoners living on the peripheries of historical records.
Perhaps I'm influenced by my background. My ancestor, Seliosi the Day Thunder Knight, raised her spear against the sky and ushered in the flame-chasing era that continues to this day. Her story is told to every child descended from the Skyfolk. We have no doubts about Seliosi's greatness, yet her towering figure overshadowed every record from that entire era. What What about the Day Thunder Knight's family, allies, and friends? What about the survivors and those who died in the great battles? Whenever I think about their stories by the campfire, I realize the details of those legends have been long lost, and only Celiosi's name remains. Her brilliance had become as blinding as Aquila's, lording over everything on the ground. That's why I'm glad that my era does not lack heroes. All my ancestors had was a sad past. But I have a future I want to protect. Instead of becoming a hero and ushering in a golden deluge to baptize the world anew, I want to stay in the backline and save all the ordinary humans from drowning in the rising wave. I wish not to return to the sky, but to walk among the masses on Earth. I believe it's the only way for the saga of creation to include a footnote for the everyday people in its blank page. I'm getting embarrassed from remembering how I said all that, but my beliefs have never changed. Now I really have a chance to stay behind the hero's front line and realize my dream. Danny, what are you doing here?
Ich hätte nicht erwartet, dich im Hain wiederzusehen. Feinot erwähnte, dass du dich auf den Feldzug gegen Aquila vorbereitest. Bist du hier
You guessed it. To reach Aquila's realm in the sky, descendants of the Sky People must perform a bloodline ceremony, summon the spirits of our ancestors, and get their blessings. That's the only way for creatures on Earth to forge the rainbow bridge to the sky. And the soul of the first ancestor I want to see is here in the grove.
Die Regenbogenbrücke ist unerlässlich, um Aquilas Kernflamme zurückzuholen, aber eine so wichtige Zeremonie allein durchzuführen, ist viel zu riskant.
Don't worry. I have little Ika with me. You will protect me, won't you?
Ja, von der Horde Assassinen. Oder einer alten Frau.
Good, Ika. Well, what brings you here, Danny?
Ich sammle so viele Mythen und Forschung über die Titanen, wie ich kann. Alles, was mit Amphorios zu tun hat, ist eine wertvolle Ergänzung für unsere Datenbank, wenn ich zum Astralexpress zurückkehre.
Right. If all goes as planned, you and Gray will be able to go home after this mission.
Ja, vorausgesetzt, wir können den Fluch der Welt hinter dem Himmel tatsächlich brechen. Ich habe das Gefühl, dass es nicht ganz so glatt laufen wird.
Oh? Could it be that you too have some kind of hidden powers to make prophecies now?
Das nicht, aber nach einem Gespräch mit einem der Mitglieder des Ältestenrats fange ich an zu zweifeln, wie real alles ist.
Nope, I didn't understand that. Since we've already met up, why don't you come with me, Danny?
Okay, also dann hat jetzt schon verstanden, dass alles hier sehr, sehr merkwürdig ist und wahrscheinlich irgendwas Komisches bis auf die Story hier vor sich geht. Und wir hatten ja auch am Ende von 3.2, dass eigentlich dieser Roboter-Typ die ganze Welt, dieses ganze Planeten eigentlich ja so beobachtet und irgendwie eine Katastrophe verhindert, indem er die Welt so lässt in diesem Zustand, wie sie gerade ist. Und dann kam ja Hörter reingeplatzt. Das habe ich auch gedacht. Der Hain ist im Moment voller Gefahren und ein zusätzliches Paar Hände bedeutet mehr Sicherheit.
That's the dependable express guard for you. So, shall we get going?
Ne, wir nehmen ja immer noch an, dass es einfach so eine Stellaron-Katastrophe ist. Das, was ja auf dem ganzen Planeten geschieht. Warum? Ich hasse euch. Das ist alles eine alte Map und die haben wieder sämtliche Teleporter gesperrt, damit du auch noch eine halbe Stunde durch die Gegend laufen musst. Ich könnte kotzen. So rum, so rum, so rum. Mal gucken.
The chromocopter is vibrating. There must be memories of an ancestor nearby.
Wie kommt man denn an den da? Muss man da die Hand für benutzen? Ich glaube, die Käfer habe ich in keinem Gebiet fertig gesammelt. Ich habe immer nur die Truhen gemacht. Was ist das?
This is the divine object of the Sky People, the chromocopter. Our ancestors dictated that when a descendant of the Sky Folk is ready to challenge Aquila again, they must first awaken the spirits of their ancestors with the chromocopter and receive their benediction. Only after this can the chosen Sky Folk reascend to the heavens.
Ich sag, wir nehmen einfach unseren Zug und fliegen hoch.
Very prudent, wouldn't you say? The soul of an ancestor slumbers here. Now, I will awaken them. I am Hyacinthia from the Twilight Courtyard, a descendant of the sky who has inherited the duty of flame chase. The time has come to fulfill our clan's destiny. I will join the heroes of the prophecy to return to the sky and retrieve the core flame. Ancestor, please bestow upon me your generous blessing. Now, the next ancestor on the list. Her spirit is set to rest in the vortex of Genesis. A pity that the ceremony has to be performed in strict order. Shall we head back to Akama together, Danny?
Erinnerst du dich, wie du mir vorgeschlagen hast, die geheimen Künste des Wassers von den Priestern von Falgosa zu erlernen? Ich habe das in meiner Freizeit geübt und einige Fortschritte gemacht. Jetzt kann ich, solange ich Geisterwasser bei mir trage, diese Technik anwenden, um einen Pfad direkt zum Stuhl der Genesis zu bahnen.
Oh, I remember. I
What?
didn't expect you to keep at it this long. That's so like you, Danny. That makes sense. Bagusa was always described as a fickle titan in the myths. Since you're offering, then let me put your skills to the test, Danny. Got it. I'm counting on you, Danny.
Ich hätte auch noch Wassermagie gelernt nebenbei. Es ist nicht nur, dass er so eine Drachengottform annehmen kann, jetzt kann er auch noch Wassermagie.
But this does feel way more disorienting than the ritual basin. Wait, is Lady Treeby here too? And who is that next to her? Oh, I think I know who that is.
Do you have to go already, Syphie? It's been ages since you were last in Akama. You could have taken some time to rest, and we could have caught up.
That's all right, big sister Treeby. I've gotten used to life on the road. Staying in this bustling city actually feels off. Besides, your prize student gave me an incredibly tough mission to handle.
Cut Snowy some slack, Syphie. He's still so young, yet he's shouldering all the responsibilities Aggie left behind. Besides, Snowy's not the kind to ask for help lightly. Since he came to you, it means you're the best person for the job.
You really spoil him, Big Sis Treeby.
Guess I'm past the age for someone to look after me.
Just kidding. I get it. That deliverer boy does have a certain charisma about him. It reminds me of Aglaia in her prime. Anyway, I'm about to head out. Oh, Big Sis Treeby, before I go, got a little gift for you.
Well, didn't expect you to be so thoughtful. What's in it?
That's a part of the game too. If you want to see the full picture of what's inside, you'll have to wait until nightfall.
A gift with a mysterious twist.
Huh? Looks like we have company.
Lady Treeby, and this graceful lady must be Miss Cypher. I'm Hyacinthia from the Twilight Courtyard. Everyone calls me Hyacinth. Pleased to meet you.
Bright and cheery as a lamp. Well, hello there, pink child. I'm Cyphera from the long-fallen city-state of Dolos. As for the rest, it's all in the history books, so I don't need to repeat it here. So, you're from the Twilight Courtyard. Does that mean...
Yes, I'm a descendant of the Sky People, the Chrysos heir about to take over the authority of Sky.
Whoa! That's unexpected. I figured Celiosi's descendant would be, I don't know, taller, stronger.
Don't judge a book by its cover, Syphie. Cinny is a master of her craft. She's the most skilled and dependable physician in all of Amphorius.
Don't worry, Lady Cypher. I may not be as strong and warlike as Lady Celiosi from 1,000 years ago, but I'm confident I can carry out the mission of the Skyfolk.
All this talk about missions, you're making it sound way too... You've got to look out for yourself, girl. Don't push yourself too hard. I'd hate to see that cute face all scratched out by Aquila's claws.
Syphie cracking jokes? Looks like you haven't forgotten what Aggie said all those years ago.
Anyway, I've got a mission to handle, so I'll get going. Good luck, Miss Hyacinth. And if things get tough, just let that deliverer take the lead.
Miss Cypher is in such a hurry.
Don't worry, she's always been like that. Well, enough about her for now. You're here because of your mission, aren't you, Cinny? It's the perfect opportunity for me to go and tuck Syphie's gift away somewhere safe. The Vortex of Genesis is all yours.
I will join the heroes of the prophecy to return to the sky and retrieve the core flame. Ancestor, please bestow upon me your generous blessing. General Ectra is so different from how the records described her. She's quite a gentle person. All right, time to head back to the Grove. I shouldn't keep Danny and little Ika waiting. It went great. Your spirit water art was a huge help, Danny.
Willst du mir verraten, was der Geist deiner Vorfahren zu dir gesagt hat?
What's wrong, Danny?
Nichts, es klingt, als wäre alles reibungslos verlaufen. Es ist nur, ich bin etwas besorgt wegen der Prophezeiung, die du erwähnt hast. Am Ende der Regenbogenbrücke werden die Himmelsbewohner die Dämmerung und den Morgen wiederherstellen. Irgendwie spüre ich einen Hauch von Traurigkeit in diesen Kurzworten.
You've always been a bit of a sensitive soul, haven't you, Danny? Lady Trinan deciphers countless prophecies every day, and this one's just another among many. Come on, Danny. Don't look so gloomy. We're gonna have to take a long trip for the final visit to the ancestors. Our final stop is Lord Mighty's home, Castrum Kremnos.
Aha.
We're here. This is it. Lord Mighty has been fighting the Black Tide here, alone day after day.
Er hat uns bereits mit dem Donner eine Warnung zukommen lassen, dass wir den Flammendieb im Auge behalten
That
sollen.
means he hasn't been consumed by the Black Tide's madness yet. We're here to complete an important mission. We shouldn't interfere with this battlefield. Don't you agree, Dan? There. That sleeping spirit is my grandmother. Yes, my grandmother Jacintha was a warrior. She represented the Twilight Courtyard in the Kremnos Festival. She fought her way through every challenge and reached the final stage of the Kremnos Festival. She was just one step away from securing a peace treaty for the Skyfolk, but was ultimately defeated by the champion warrior of that time. I've never looked too deeply into the details of such ritualistic violence. The scroll simply described it as a glorious duel, but behind the glorious duel was a tragic end. Not long after the festival, my grandmother's injuries worsened, and she passed away far from home. This prophecy tablet was left here by the Kremnoans to honor her final wish. Her death marked the final collapse of the Twilight Courtyard, already fragile under the shadow of war.
Und der gnosianische Krieger, gegen den sie gekämpft hat,
Was Lord Krataros. Seeing him lying there, gravely wounded, bleeding out. I can't put what I felt at that moment, but when I heard Lord Krataros took that fatal blow to protect Lady Trian, all
Also,
those
der alte.
tangled feelings faded away. To quote Lord Finan, Krataros must have done that to become a better man. You're getting better at this, Danny. In her final diary entry, my grandmother wrote that when the moment of destiny comes, a descendant of the Sky People would deliver the message of their departure to her spirit. I wonder what she'd think when the one awaking her turns out to be her beloved granddaughter. I will join the heroes of the prophecy to return to the sky and retrieve the core flame. Ancestor, please bestow upon me your generous blessing.
Das hören wir uns richtig an.
Is this the world of the living? Wait.
Grandmother, it's me, your Hyacinthia.
Hyacinthia, my little hummingbird. Why? How? Why is it you who awakened me? I have never imagined this. I thought I would feel happy for all my ancestors when this day came, but now I can't even experience the joy of seeing you again.
Do you remember that you and Father took me to my very first sky ride when I was 8? Back then, you wanted me to pick one accessory out of 4. The sun crown representing nobility, the storm bracelet symbolizing strength, the ice ring embodying wisdom, and the radiant pendant signifying kindness. Grandmother, do you remember the one I chose?
You spoke an innocent little prayer, infusing a faint thread of light to that modest pendant.
Yes, and I remember how surprised you were. In all those centuries, no other child of the Sky People had ever made the same choice I did.
Hyacinthia, there was a time when I thought you were a timid child. You never had much interest in swords or battle and had no relation to that fiery determination and strength in our blood. Yet I've told myself, that's not a bad thing. If my hummingbird could live her life in kindness and optimism, then it'd be a good thing. I never thought the burden of retrieving the core flame of Aquila would fall to you.
Don't worry about me, Grandmother. I believe what makes someone a Skyfolk isn't just outstanding strength, but the capacity to shape the world. When the world cried out for a hero to challenge the gods 1,000 years ago, Seliosi stepped forward and began the flame-chasing era. And now, as the flame-chase journey nears its end, this broken world is crying out for something else. Healing. Isn't it poetic? A saga that spans 1,000 years, began with Sky, and will also end with Sky.
You're still as optimistic as ever, just like when you were a kid. If your mind is set, Hyacinthia, then carry your resolve through to the very end. Return to the sky with my blessing, and watch over this world on the threshold of salvation.
Grandmother, thank you. But I have one last request.
Speak, Hyacinthia. We should still have some time.
Before you go, could you tell me the tale of the Sky Hero once more?
Then listen closely, my dear. For millennia, the Titans waged relentless wars, leaving the world scarred and ravaged. A century of the Chrysos War plunged the nations into chaos and decay until a spear, fueled by mortal rage, pierced through the smoke and flames that buried the prophecy of deliverance. Aquila, the celestial shaper, the 100-eyed divine bird crowned with the blazing sun and wielding thunder. Those struck blind in 99 eyes by Nikador, they kept one eye glaring at the children of Twilight who received divine blessing, yet turned their weapons against the gods. The Chrysos heir of the sky, Seliosi, the Day Thunder Knight, ascended the forbidden lands of the Eye of Twilight at dusk, clad in wings. To her left was the lion-headed Solibus the Sunlit Wings, whose roars breathed divine flames and scorched the world. To her right was the horse-bodied Lunibus, the Moonlit Plume, whose graceful steps trampled the stars in the heavens. The one warrior and her two beasts challenged the ruler of the sky, determined to seize the divine core flame through plunder. The Titans' every roar summoned lightning bolts, and their every movement stirred cyclones.
Genau, und hier das geflügelte Pferd ist ja ihr Begleiter. Das Kronen-nicht-Einhorn-Ding, was sie da hat.
The wounded Titan's blood poured down like boiling rain upon the world and converged into scalding torrents. In the final moments of battle, the sunlit wings set the Titan's wings aflame, while the moonlit plume sealed the divine body. The battered hero of the sky, with her wings broken and her body covered in wounds, struggled to lift her spear and pierced the last monstrous eye. The Titan's divine body crashed to the ground, And with it, the sky, tore apart like fabric, about to fall with its god. The fear and pleas of mortals urged the hero of the sky to rise again. Seliosi, the Day Thunder Knight, the first of the Chrysos heirs to slay a god in this world, charged into the crumbling body of Aquila with her two fearless winged companions. She merged with the Titan, holding up the sky once more. My descendants will be blessed and cross the Rainbow Bridge back to the sky. At the end of the prophecy of Genesis, they will reclaim the core flame from my hands.
Wow, I didn't expect it to be so lively up here. Are these people here to send off the Chrysos heirs?
There's Weinen. Let's go talk to him.
Ja, also die Trailblazerinnen-Stimme ist auf jeden Fall neu.
Carefully on high.
I know this is a big ask, Namazuni. I hope you understand.
Please don't say that, Lord Finan. It's an honor for us to be entrusted with this task.
Go then. Let's hope our concerns don't come true.
I hope you all return safely, my lord.
There you are, partner. You didn't oversleep this time, did you?
You like calling me that, don't you? Oh, well, I've embraced it now. It doesn't even faze me anymore.
Ready, comrade? If all goes according to plan, this could be the last battle where we fight at each other's side. If the curse separating Amphorius from the world beyond the sky is truly Aquila's doing, then you'll be able to return home after their fall.
Wie gesagt, das konnten wir in 3.0 schon einfach so.
That would be a problem. We'll need to get you home before Aranova. Let's leave the emotional goodbyes for later. That'll give us some time to figure out what we should be feeling at that time. Besides, when we were playing the Seal Slammers, that bumping seal game, didn't you teach me something back then?
Nee?
Crack the champagne at halftime to watch victory slip away. The last mile is the hardest. That's from Dan Heng. Same principle, just more elegantly put.
Hey, speaking of Dunham...
He arrived before everyone else and climbed to the cliff top to wait for us. He's probably not keen on being the center of attention.
Lord Finan, please make sure you all come back safely.
Please defeat the indifferent eye of Twilight and restore a compassionate sky to Amphorius.
Thank you all for your blessings, but I'm not the main attraction today. Please don't hesitate to cheer for Miss
Miss Hyacinth, the chosen daughter of the sky.
She's not just the pride of Akuma, but all of Amphorius as well. While the Flame Chase journey is led by the Chrysos heirs, it's not just those chosen by Aglaya who contributed to it. Let's extend our gratitude to the two warriors of the Outlands who bravely stepped up and risked their lives for those they've never met.
Hero, your saga will be chronicled in epics and celebrated across the New World.
Warrior from the Outlands, endowed with the might of Orynyx, the vanguard of deliverance.
After all this time, you should know when I'm just being polite and when I'm genuinely speaking from the heart. That praise was heartfelt, partner. Had I not trusted my instincts and put my faith in you and Dan Heng, It's hard to imagine what might have become of the guest of honor.
People of Akama, I've been blessed by the ancestors of the Sky People. They have agreed to bestow the 1,000-year mission to me, and to have me claim the core flame of Aquila. Today is the year 4932 of the Light Calendar. 1062 years since the hero Seliosi initiated the Flame Chase journey. I, Hyacinthia of the Sky People, am prepared to lead the children of humanity back to the sky.
History doesn't breathe evenly. At times, it suspends its breath for millennia, as though time is frozen. At other times, it pants rapidly, as if poised to topple the world and our civilization in an instant. Its hurried gasps have sparked a tempest, sweeping all of us along. Hyacinth, as an observer, you've witnessed the return of 4 core flames. And now, it's your turn to fulfill your duty. Please, guide us into the heart of the storm. Thanks for waiting, Donhung. The team tasked with conquering Aquila has finally assembled. So full of energy, comrades. Seems I chose the perfect day. Hyacinth, it's all yours now.
Legend tells of the Sky Folk once divided into many tribes. The Sun Folk worshipped the sun. The Rain Folk were devoted to storms. And the Winter Folk waited for signs in the snow. Our ancestors lived under Aquila's light. Yet they were blinded to all but one color. They forgot that the light that illuminates the world is made of countless different colors. That's why the rainbow is my favorite. For not only does it reflect the many colors, it is also a bridge. And I want to use the Rainbow Bridge to link everyone's hearts and give hope to every soul on Earth. Ancestors, with the rainbow as your guide, lead me back to the home of the Sky Folk, a land we have not seen for 1,000 years. Oh, Rainbow Bridge, please guide us to ascend to the skies once more. Friends, let us soar together.
Flying along the Rainbow Bridge is truly an amazing experience. The Eye of Twilight. It's the legendary sky fortress of Aquila. I never imagined that one day I'd be able to step foot on it.
My ancestors once built a magnificent civilization among the heavens. The Eye of Twilight, which we are standing on, is the home of Aquila and the heart of the city-state in the clouds. This must be where the hero Seliosi stood when she challenged Aquila and began the first step of the Flame Chase journey. We are here to end the journey she began. What we must do will not change, no matter how much of the legends are true.
According to historical records, the civilization that worshipped Aquila once mastered advanced technology, which made their strategically located Sky Castrum the only force that could face Castrum Kremnos head-on in the Chrysos War. But they were divided within. The frequent wars started by the Chrysos heirs drained their power, especially after the prophecy descended. In the end, they had to hide among the clouds, far from the conflicts raging below.
Apparently, the division was between the two most important sky tribes, the Sun Folk and the Rain Folk. And Seliosi's frustration towards the endless strife among her people made her turn her spear towards the Titan above. After driving the enraged Titan to the brink of defeat with her two winged companions, they all vanished somewhere in the sky. Her achievements were unparalleled, even if later legends exaggerated the details. Yet she still could not end Aquila, nor bring back the core flame of Sky. Some say she sealed the wrath of the god within herself, trapping them deep within the Eye of Twilight to support the heavens of Amphorius forever.
In other words, she became one with the Titan. I would have considered it a fairy tale, but after seeing what happened with Professor Anaxa, not anymore. Has that Titan and that fused hero been looking down on the world from here for 1,000 years?
Okay, dann hier nochmal einen kleinen Cut. Und dann sehen wir uns hier das neue Gebiet an. Bis dahin, ciao Leute.